So imagine it's 2007 and you're, reading the last Harry Potter book, Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows. And then, Harry's about to give the final blow, and out of nowhere comes Ginny Weasley to save the day, and she somehow just takes the Elder Wand and kills Voldemort. And that's the end of the story. That's how I feel about this episode of Game of Thrones. I always told myself I'm not an internet person. I don't put myself on the internet for the most part. And I said I would never do this, but this just takes the cake. I don't think I've ever been this angry in my entire life at any fictional thing ever. I don't even know how to begin with the problems in this episode. I have people who I talk to who are against what happened. I have people who I talk to who don't really see what the problem is because Arya's awesome. It's not about that. It's not about Arya being badass. It's about the disrespect of 8 seasons, almost a decade, of building up a character for nothing. So, I hope, the season's not over, so I hope I eat my words. I hope something happens where I can eat every single last of my words about how angry I am. And how there's maybe some other twist, which I'm not going to hold my breath, that they're going to fix whatever the fuck just happened on my TV screen on Sunday night. There's so much to say. I thought I turn on the camera and I'd be ready. I've watched countless YouTube videos of people ranting. I've seen some furious people trying to contain their rage. I thought by this point I would calm down. I went through disbelief on Sunday to pure rage on Monday to gutted disappointment the rest of the week. I'm still in disappointment. I know other fans are going through, well, maybe this, that, Bran is evil, maybe just don't try. Don't exhaust yourself over a plotline that's gone. It's over. It's done. We can't take it back. We can't get anything back of all the poor things that have happened. I can't even believe I'm doing this right now. This is how frustrated I am. I just need someone to hear me. I don't even care who it is. You guys can tell me that I'm a whinger. I'm just whining. Don't watch the show anymore, blah, blah, blah. Of course, I'm still going to see what happens, but I have no hope. My problem is, I have no problem with Arya killing the Night King. Just let it make sense. The writers said that they had planned this 3 seasons ago. That was season 5. The brown eyes, green eyes, blue eyes thing that was said to Arya from Melisandre was said in season 3. So how does that make any sense? It doesn't make any sense. So you foreshadow something happening the last season? The problem is the writers are talking about subverting expectations. That's what the show is about. That's not what the show is about. That's not how you tell a story. You tell a story, you subvert expectations when there's still story to be had. When you're closing an arc, you're closing an arc. So we had to watch Jon for 4 seasons talk about the Night King for him to not finish him off. He doesn't even have to finish him off. Just give him something to do. What is the point? What is the point of bringing him back to life? What is the point of the whole prince that was promising? Okay, yeah, maybe the prophecies are they're just not real. All right, well, show us that. Like I said, there's still 3 episodes left, but I really don't understand. I don't care about Cersei. I don't care that she's the final big bad. I know people can beg to different. Say you don't agree. Fine. I'll have this discussion. I've stuck up for these writers when people were trashing them season 6, season 7. I still stood by the writers because I had hope that they knew the ending and they could stick the ending. Clearly they're not going to. They're not going to. I have no hope. And maybe it's better that way. Maybe they'll turn it around and something will be different. But I just don't think so. I just don't think so. I know people were complaining that the episode was dark. Honestly, that was actually the least that bothered me. I was squinting the whole time, but I was, we deal with a lot of stuff. Big nerds who like a lot of fantasy things deal with a lot of things that disappoint them. So for me, the episode being dark was the least of my worries. I just wanted some plot to come into action. Jon screaming at a dragon. It just hurts that is his, to me, that's that's his arc. I have so many thoughts. Because am I supposed to care? I'm supposed to care that he's Aegon, right? That's supposed to be important. He doesn't, his character never even wanted the throne. So maybe out of nowhere he'll want the throne because he can't talk about the Night King anymore. And that's the only thing I'm interested in, because someone put it correctly, is we're going to see Jon not talk about the Night King probably since the whole show even started. He's going to have something else to talk about. That'll be interesting. I don't think they're going to do it correctly. It's like, I didn't want the Night King to be killed in one episode either. But if he had to be, fine, not like this. You don't just subvert expectations because it's shocking. That's not how you tell a story. And, you know, everyone's like, oh, you can't do it then, blah, blah. I went to school for TV writing and producing. I don't have the platform to do the things that David and Dan can do to finish a story. But I did spend countless hours and spend a ton of money on art school to learn how to tell a cohesive story. I never do this. I'm never this disappointed. Even with J.K. Rowling's retcon of the Fantastic Beasts sitting through Dumbledore, who never existed, sorry, spoilers, and sitting through Nagini, who was useless in the movie, and just everything about Lethal Lestrange and how BS that was, I still took it. I still dealt with it. So many issues I'm having. I can't even articulate it now. As soon as I turn I freeze up because I really don't want to do this. I don't want to be this person. But I know there's people out there that feel the same way I do. It's just such a gutting experience when you watch something for so long and you connect to things. That's the point of art. It's like people are like, then get a life, blah, blah, blah. Sometimes people just like to connect to something. They like to be taken out of their everyday world, and they, especially when something is so good or was so good up until last Sunday, and then you just see the choices, it does hurt. It's kind of like, oh, you know, you had hope in this one thing. And it didn't deliver. It didn't deliver. And it's like, I didn't need the end all be all. I just needed things to make sense. I don't need you to tug at my heartstrings. And also episode 2 is kind of pointless now because people didn't even really die like that. Because they're all just probably going to blow up in King's Landing in episode 5. It's fine, but also probably doesn't make sense either. I just don't really see how they're going to fix this. And maybe that's a good thing. I'm still upset. Like, I don't even want to watch episode 4, but I'm going to. I know it. You know it. We all know it. And I'm not saying the actors didn't work hard. I know how hard it is. I still think the episode was a great episode up until the last 5 minutes. It's just gutting. That's how it feels. But yeah, I'm not going to take anything away from those actors and everything that they did. It's nothing to do with that. It's just why was it so hard to change a couple of things that happened within the episode? It shouldn't have been that hard. It shouldn't have been that hard. It really shouldn't have been. You're telling me Melisandre, all that, useless. She started a couple fires, told Arya she's the one that killed the Night King. Why? Where did she come from? Why were the White Walkers doing nothing? Give us something. At least in Harry Potter, there was Horcruxes. Take the Horcruxes down. Then, Voldemort would be defeated. Neville could have been the one who was prophesied about as well, but he at least took down Nagini or whatever that gave Harry the leeway. Do something like that with Arya. Have her help. Oh, she has Valyrian steel. Jorah had Valyrian steel. Jon had Valyrian steel. Have the 3 of them do something. I'm so angry. It doesn't make sense. People are trying to argue with me. They're like, Arya's badass. People don't like that a woman did it. Literally, as a woman, absolutely not. It doesn't make sense. She had her arc. I feel like they took Jon's arc away. I know. I am trying to figure out what the big point of him being king is. Maybe that'll come into play. I'm hoping that since the last 3 episodes are an hour and 20 minutes long, that there will be something else that I'm missing. Clearly I'm missing something because I don't know what's going to happen. I can't even fathom it in my head. And people will have arguments of you're just mad that your theories didn't come true. There's 10,000 theories out there. Better than this. You watch so many things with theories. And of course it's not going to turn out most likely the way that you want. Sorry. Obviously not. I expected that. This is just the biggest disappointment. And I'm with all the people who are hurt and feel the same way. And as we all know, people who know me, I am a huge Daenerys fan. And I've already had to deal with the first half of the season, people just throwing some mad queen shit out there. And like, people just can't understand her character. And as soon as she's in Westeros dealing with people that we also know, they just turn on her and hate her. Meanwhile, you're rooting for her in the dragons, but now you hate her and want her to die. I can't even deal with that. Clearly, people don't know the character, and that's a whole nother rant entirely that I can't get into. But at this rate, they might do Mad Queen. Fine. Because they're everything's left field. They better do this justice. I don't... I tried to see Endgame after, because I didn't see it yet, after the 3rd episode, to try to calm me down. It didn't work. I mean, it did work for a minute. Endgame, I feel like, had a solid ending. I haven't even listened to many people's opinions on that, because it's not as split as this, I know. I just don't understand it. I don't understand it. But, you know, people can have their opinions. They can say things. They can yell, do whatever. I'm just, you know, it is what it is right now. Hopefully everyone still has faith in whatever is going to go down next. I'm so hurt by this. It's actually ridiculous. I've dealt with a lot of BS from a lot of fantasy shit that pulls a lot of stuff out their ass and plot lines that don't make sense. And I'm always like, sure. But this I couldn't do. I couldn't do it. I even, you know, just kind of ignored Harry Potter and the Cursed Child. I know people have opinions about The Last Jedi. I like Star Wars. I'm not a fan of Star Wars, but I like it a lot. But I can understand where they're coming from, so I get it. Well, I hope everybody is prepared to watch the latest episode 4. Hopefully, it's good. But I have nothing else to give. My energy is done. I'm trying to, like, move on to something else. Sometimes people just need that outlet. I'm one of those people that need that outlet. I just need to escape with a good story and good plotline that makes sense. And the fact that I could just keep going. Like, I'm okay that Grey Worm didn't die because I thought it was going to be Missandei. I was waiting for it. Nothing. And I don't think there's anything wrong with fan service. Fan service is fine if it makes sense. We haven't gotten Arya Daenerys talk at all. There's so many characters that they should have just never done 6 episodes. I can't. It is what it is. But, all right. Hope the fans are having a good weekend. Have a good weekend coming up. Cinco de Mayo is on Sunday. So I'm going to be drinking. This is a personal thing I'm saying. I'm doing this on my We All Die Alone podcast account for The Bachelor. So I just ranted about Game of Thrones and now I'm talking about The Bachelor. And yes, see, trash is trash when warranted. I know The Bachelor is trash, but I enjoy myself because I know what I'm getting into. Game of Thrones, I just did not expect that I was going to be so disappointed. But yeah, check out this podcast if you also watch The Bachelor and you have very weird variety of taste. Because We All Die Alone is how I'm feeling right now. So yeah, hope my... the people who I do my podcast with appreciate me just posting this on our account for that, which is hilarious in itself, but they'll deal, because they know me. All right, let's stick together and just hope for the best. Hopefully the pain will subside and we'll just hold on for whatever we're about to see next, because I don't think it's going to be anything good. If it is, kudos to them for surprising me. All right, well, until then, here's to Sunday.